Mailshirt. So, I have a chainmail hauberk, or a Mailshirt, or a burnie, or whatever you want to call it. And before we go any further with this, let's just get one thing out of the way straight away, which is the word chainmail. That, to 99% of the world, is chainmail when asked in the English language to describe it. I have, what, nearly 80,000 subscribers now? Oh my god. I'm willing to bet maybe a couple of thousand of you are aware of the fact, or are at least aware of the idea that chainmail is an anachronistic name. But guess what? Also, complaining at people on the internet that it's not really called chainmail is in itself anachronistic, because in the past it has been known as chainmail for a very, very long time. So, chill out, be calm, it doesn't matter, it doesn't make a difference to anybody's lives, be cool, none of us is really a Viking warrior, alright? Graham, look at me. You're not a Viking. Your name's Graham. Alright? You're an insurance salesman. You're good at it. You're really good at it, mate. You're not a Viking. I love you too. Love to the kids. So, my chainmail is pretty mucky stuff. It leaves nasty black smudges all over my hands. Alright? It basically leaves this residue on my, you can't really see it very well. Alright, it leaves this nasty residue, okay, on my fingers. Nasty black residue. End of the world that it leaves a black residue on my fingers, but it also leaves a black residue on whatever I'm wearing underneath it. And because I don't wear a gambeson underneath my mail when I'm doing early medieval stuff, because there's no evidence of them wearing gambesons, and frankly, culturally, it's likely that men just stuck their mail shirts over a tunic. Like, it's not there to guarantee that you're not going to get hurt, it's there to maybe make sure you don't die. Like, they also didn't have mail all the way down their arms and legs in the 10th century. It ended at the elbow, because injury is just a thing that happens and your forearms aren't essential to keep breathing. So, I want my mail to be a bit cleaner. And no, it's not the end. Some of you may already have experience of this. You may have cleaned a Mailshirt, you may have a Mailshirt that you want to clean, you may have had weird experiences in the past. Let us know in the comments if you've had any fun mail cleaning experiences in the past. But I wanted to get this guy clean. I wanted to get my 2 stone metal t-shirt clean. What's 2 stone? 28 pounds. I don't think it quite weighs 28 pounds. What's that in kilos? I know it weighs nearly 50. I know it is 15 and a half kilos almost. This is a heavy thing. This is a heavy Mailshirt. Like, it is a heavy ass Mailshirt. It is a 6mm Mailshirt, riveted Mailshirt. It's very good quality. It's very nice mail. It looks good. And it has served me for many, many, many years. I've had this now for about 11 years, I think. It's a superb piece of kit. Love it to pieces. And I just wanted to give it a scrub, give it a clean, give it a new lease of life. I'm not lifting with my core. Ow, my lumbar spine. I'm just gonna put him down there. And here's how I decided to find out what the heck was on my Mailshirt that was making it turn everything black. Turns out it was graphite cutting paste. So this graphite oil all over my mail was like providing some rust protection, because the graphite was a little bit abrasive, so it was stopping rust, and there was oil in there as well. So it was this graphite-y oil mix, which, brilliant if you want to rust-proof something made of mild steel. Fantastic stuff. Chainmail's got a huge surface area, so working really well. But there are other products available. In the period, what would they have used? Short answer, we don't know. Long answer, we don't know, but there are options available to them that are available to us now. Things like pig fat, tallow, various vegetable oils, and things like linseed and flax oil. They were certainly things that people were aware of in the period. 1,000 years ago, people were using olive oil, they were using linseed, they were using flax oil. But I thought, well, something that I always advocate for all the time is natural fibres. And the king of natural fibres is, of course, wool. Sheep's wool contains lanolin. Lanolin can act as a rust preventative. So I thought, wouldn't it be a wicked wheeze if I took my Mailshirt that I've had for 10 years, that is not in the best condition in the world, it's not like glittering or anything like that, and I had a crack at degreasing it and then reproofing it with something that in theory will dry pretty much non-stick to the touch, so it won't leave loads of residue everywhere, and it won't get a load of stuff caught in it, because the oil is great, but oil gets stuff caught in it. It gets hair and fuzz and bits and blech and all kinds of things. I don't want that. I want my mail to be pretty bomb-proof. So I had a little look around for things I could use as a degreasing agent to start the whole process off. I wanted to get rid of the oil, the graphite oil that was on it already, and I started off with washing up liquid, dish soap. To my North American friends, I'd actually had success using washing up liquid using dish soap before, degreasing after an oil spill. So I have a motorcycle, I was cleaning the engine of my motorcycle, some of the oil spilled onto some flagstones. Flagstones are obviously porous, they're stone, and I spread a load of this around, scrubbed it in with a broom, with a bit of water, and left it for half an hour, and genuinely the oil had miraculously gone. And I figured, if it can do that, it can get rid of some graphite oil from my burnie. Did they clean their mail in the past? Almost certainly yes. There is a theory that they may have urinated on their mail to get it to rust on purpose. That was done in later periods, sometimes with some metal products. I have seen no evidence at all of them doing that to mail shirts in the Viking Age. Frankly, they probably had a serf, an enslaved person, or an underling of some sort scrubbing away with some form of abrasive, shark skin, a stiff bristled brush, that sort of thing. But cleaning was almost certainly happening. As with everything in the past, they probably cleaned it more than we think they did. But I'm not an expert, so moving on. I got a bottle of dish soap, bottle of washing up liquid, I got a wire brush, and I just set to on my mail shirt. I just took it out of my flap and I scrubbed it really thoroughly with a wire brush, a nice stiff wire brush, quite a long one, and I put a bit of washing up liquid on the bristles, sprayed it across the shirt, and I just set to. And after about 10-15 minutes, I had done the entire thing. I then flipped it inside out, did the other side of it as well, because the inside was also coated in this manky old oil, and then I dunked it in a tub of water, and I repeatedly dunked it up and down in the water. But Jimmy, water rusts steel. Yeah, the theory is I'm going to dry it out really thoroughly, so don't worry about that just yet. Now, once I'd finished dunking it, I took it into my shower and put it on the shower, and then put on the shower. I gave it a damn good spray, and I just literally left the shower running on it for a few minutes until its juices ran clear. Once the juices had run clear from the mail shirt and there was no more of the manky oil running out of it, I figured it was time to get the thing dried, and I decided that the best way of doing that would be to use a heat gun. Pro tip: if you decide that you're going to get a really big, fairly expensive piece of mild steel wet and covered in dish soap, which contains salts which also encourage rusting, do make sure you have the means to dry it before you begin. Don't do what I did and text a load of your mates and say, hey, have you got a heat gun I can borrow? My mail shirt is soaking wet and I need to wear it at the weekend, and then have to wait ages because they're all at work because you're a pillock and didn't decide to ask them the day before, so that you have to get into your car, drive to B&Q, 20 minutes before B&Q closes, go into B&Q, find the heat guns, and then see that there's a bewildering array of them. Change your mind twice, be told that there are heat-proof gloves in B&Q. B&Q, you do not have any heat-proof gloves in your York store, just FYI. There was nothing at all in aisle 33, despite what I was told by the management team. Then have to drive home, then take your brand new heat gun, figure out how the heck it works in the dark, take it outside in the dark, put your mail shirt on the ground in the dark, and then attempt to blow dry your mail shirt with a device that can heat air up to 400 degrees Celsius, which results in you scorching bits of the back of your mail like you've been shot with flaming arrows, which weren't a thing. Look at the scorch mark. See that thing where you're like, oh, is that it? That's it. Look at the scorch mark on my armour. What an idiot. Don't do that. Instead of doing all of that, ask your mates the day before and/or buy your heat gun the day before and then do it during daylight hours, yeah? So I tried to really thoroughly dry the mail shirt after I'd got it all soaking wet, and I did that with my new heat gun. And this thing has a few settings. It does 50 Celsius, 200 Celsius, and 400 Celsius. I think I put it on 400 by mistake. I did end up putting a couple of scorch marks on the mail, which kind of looks a bit cool. If I'd done it on the entire thing, it would have a cool blackened steel effect. I think I dried it okay. Once it was fairly thoroughly dried, I wrapped it up in an old wool tunic and stuck it in a box because I was going away for the week. Pro tip number 2. If you are going to do all of this and or any of this, do not, and I repeat, do not kind of thoroughly dry your mail shirt and then put it away in a wicker box for a week, because it will develop rust, because that's how science works. So I then left it in its wicker box for 4 days, came back to it after going away to work, and then had my lanolin spray. So my lanolin spray is one of several available on the market, and it's basically composed of lanolin and vegetable oils. It stinks. It absolutely effing honks. It really, really reeks. It smells very, very strong. It's like 1 billion sheep have started drinking linseed oil. It's really, really strong stuff. Anyway, once that arrived, I gave the Mailshirt a final wire brushing, which I didn't film because I did it on the hoof. Forgiveness, please. And I then sprayed it with this lanolin spray. Now, this lanolin stuff is meant to take 24 hours to start curing. Then it takes a week to fully dry hard. And it's meant to dry hard. Not die hard, dry hard. Dry Hard's a very different series of films where it's Bruce Willis after all of these terrorist attacks just trying to get stains out of his string vest. Very boring films. But I sprayed it with the lanolin spray and then put it back in its box for a few days outside the flat, because it stinks, as I said, to cure. A week goes past and it seems to have worked. It seems to have worked. Now when I touch my mail, nothing manky comes off on my hands, which is lovely. It is still ever so slightly sticky to the touch. This is day 6 that I'm filming this on right now. I'm going to be putting it on day 7 for York Viking Festival. This is what it now looks like, and it's fine. It's as it was. There's some tiny bits of surface ruts on it that were there already, I think. The slight icky stickiness has like a weird astringent quality, so like it feels like you're touching something sticky, and then when you rub your hands together, it's got that astringent, like dry, sticky feeling. So mega pro plus points, I'm not covered in black oil anymore. Very minor con, it is still a bit sticky sticks, and that's fine. That's absolutely fine. Like, short of spraying it with one of those silicone sprays, I'm pretty sure anything I put on it is going to have a slight residue. That's fine. Like, if you use an NSYS oil on old steam engines in museums, they're slightly tacky forever, and that's just the price you pay, right? We're not looking for a silver bullet here, we're not looking for a magic cure. I want something to stop my mail shirt rusting that isn't going to turn me black, so jobs are good in there. It has like a slight whiff to it. It has like a slight oil whiff to it. It doesn't smell like sheep, but in theory, this has been a success. So check it out, look at that, there's no black oil there. There's like indentations from the mail, but there's no black oil residue. By and large, I'm happy with this. I'm happy with how this has turned out. The process wasn't too onerous. Like, obviously I've learned lessons here, lessons such as do this during daylight hours. Do this with a little bit more notice for yourself. Have all your kit and equipment in place. Have a mise en place before you begin such a project as this. Before you clean a 15 kilogram metal t-shirt. So, in short, can you clean your mail shirt with washing up liquid and a heat gun? Yes, but lessons have been learned here, guys. Lessons have been learned. The first lesson is have a mise en place. Have all your ingredients ready before you begin cooking. Have your heat gun and your dish soap available. Do it in daylight hours, so it's easy for you to check if you have, for example, washed all of the soap off your mail shirt, got it completely dry, and that sort of thing. Maybe give it a really good towel rub down as well. I didn't give it a really good towel rub down. I think maybe I should have done. The other lesson, I guess, give yourself 2 solid weeks. So if you spray it with this lanolin spray, give yourself plenty of time for it to cure, because I haven't given it enough time to cure before I wear it tomorrow, and it's not perfect. It's not perfectly dry to the touch. It's still got a tackiness to it. So if you're worried about that, if that's a concern for you, be aware that that's a thing. I have tried this on with a tunic. I didn't film it. Again, I was on the hoof. I apologise. Forgiveness, please. It left no kind of black marks on the tunic. Tunic looks absolutely fine for having had this over the top of it. A load of my friends, my reenactor mates, just wear their usual tunics with embroideries and tablet weave underneath their mail shirts. They always look absolutely fine as well. Some of them don't even use a coating on theirs. They just store it with silica gel packets, and they store it in like sandwiched between dry wool with desiccant packs and that kind of thing. And so there are other options available, but they do get surface rust sometimes. This has been outside. I've tested it over a tunic. It seems absolutely dandy. So yeah, cleaning your mail shirt with dish soap, doable. Treating it with a lanolin spray, also doable. So there you go, guys. I did a thing. I did an actual thing. So I hope that you enjoyed me doing an actual thing with my hands and my armour. Am I going to wash the Aventail on my Yarm helmet in the same way? No, because it was a faff, and that thing is fine. So if you have tried any of these techniques, if you've tried the barrel of sand down a hill technique, let us know in the comments. If you've got any fun mail cleaning experiences, let us know in the comments. If you have, for example, thrown your mail on a bonfire to degrease it, like somebody I know, let us know. If you've enjoyed this and you want to support the channel financially, we have the Ko-fi and the Patreon links down in the comment section. If you just want to support the channel by being here, give us a like, subscribe, and as ever, diolch yn fawr iawn am ymuno. Thank you very much indeed for joining, and tan tro nesa, till the next time, hwyl fawr, bye bye. I smell like sheep. Bleh.